Hey everyone, welcome to Club Healed Human. This is Kimberly, your spiritual minister, your healer, and your energy transformation specialist. And how's everyone doing today? It is the Daily Focus, and today is Third Eye Chakra Saturday. And I just got done doing the ACIM video, and I'm so charged up for it. Because it was about, it was about receiving, allowing ourselves to receive and believe that we're supposed to take from the Most High Creator, allow ourselves to receive. Now, it's not a take, but an openness to receive and be the love and joy of the Most High Creator. And how we attain that receiving is through giving. And I got into a discussion about how everything becomes effortless. When you're building from a stabilized foundation, and like we've been discussing over these days through the chakras and learning and healing and becoming our better selves, that energetic vibration that we develop by the time we get to the throat chakra is so powerful that our energy begins to precede us, right? And this is where we begin to see things very clearly, like we're like wise people. To others, to some people, we all, we're all at some path somewhere. And there's always going to be someone who is attracted to us for our learning. We're brought together by the heavens, and it just clicks, but that ability to maintain that position is really our goal, where becoming a leader and giving becomes effortless because it's happening through our throat chakra understanding about now how our energy vibration is preceding us. And that's very, very powerful thing to grasp. And as we walk into the third eye chakra where we are today, it is about intuition. But I understand intuition much differently than how most people express intuition and what their beliefs are about intuition. A lot of people will say their intuition is, communication from the Most High Creator. I completely disagree with that. Communication from the Most High Creator is communication from the Most High Creator. It's interactive. Intuition is more like the tap on your shoulder that you get, and you're able to identify things or apply yourself in particular ways based on situations. And what it really is pattern recognition. What's happening is your mind is pulling from your previous experiences a pattern that was similar to the one that you're experiencing now, and it helps you apply your wisdom to that. Now, people with a lot of experiences and people that have, and this can happen for the healed and unhealed, okay? So when someone's been through a lot of things, they grow accustomed and they have the capability of learning from those things, and they're learning the pitfalls and what to avoid. Learning what not to do is just as important as learning what to do, okay? So, we have the ability then to take that, okay, and that becomes our wisdom, and that's the storehouse of our intuition. Now, when you're not built from a strong foundation, as we've been working on, unfortunately, that pattern recognition cause and effect of your making application in a particular direction would be off balance to an unhealed person, therefore putting themselves and others in danger at some point, either immediately or sometime in the future. When you come from a healed perspective and you have the proper foundation, you have accepted the atonement for yourself, you have developed your joy, you have stepped into your authenticity, yada, yada. And your vibration is therefore higher and more in alignment with the Most High Creator. Then as you begin to create, you create things that last forever. There's a huge, 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 very important difference between the two types of manifestations. Okay? Now with the third eye chakra, what's happening now is natural healing begins to happen. Now, let me preface this by saying in most times this comes up on its own, and it bleeds into you as you're in the proper position to receive it. Remember, I said before, if you had something happen to you at a lower vibration of a 2, you may not have, the education it contained may not have been meant to understand even until you reached a vibration of, say, 7 or 8. Because it was so complex and so hurtful that the mind that you were in didn't have the capability of understanding the lesson. But now, once you've grown and you now realize who you are and you're a different person perceptually, conceptually, and you have this higher level understanding and wisdom, this is the time where we make good of everything that was ever wrong, really. And it's the natural healing process, because when you look back and ask the Most High Creator what it is that He would, needs healing, He will bring to you the thing that you were meant to heal. Really, honestly. And by doing it in this way, this is what the natural holistic approach is. Because now the masculine inside of you understands that the feminine within you has pain. But they work together at this point, and they understand one another. And so through the logic and the emotion comes an understanding. And that's your education. That was always meant for the situation that happens to come up. And now suddenly, you understand things from a completely different perspective. And you allow yourself to feel the feels. Not everything makes you feel. For many, times gone by. More immediate things, you may feel the feel, but your 3D person, you need to allow your 3D person to have its reaction. A lot of people are told to stuff that down. Now, that doesn't mean you go crazy on your emotions. No. That means you give yourself the opportunity to sit down and apply your new wisdom to what it is that you're thinking about. Because in that way, that's how you're healing. And what you're doing literally is transmuting any negative energy, any negative feelings of that, and bringing it forward. This is a storehouse of information, of wisdom that you're adding to your vault. And the intuition and the pattern recognition and the value of that's your gold. It makes you productive. It makes you proactive, because at this point, everything that you've healed has to pass the process of what did I like, what did I not like, and what can I do to make me even better? And so you have a whole vault of gold. And they're all golden eggs of creation, which are all yours. And you take these beautiful eggs and you plant your seed. And that's what intuition is to me. When you heal, your intuition is the most beautiful thing. It provides you with satisfaction. It provides you with joy. It provides you, from the other side, you can I can proactively build any business because I work backwards, because I can see the end. And my storehouse of wisdom enables me to apply proactivity so it remains Because now I've seen both sides, I know what can happen. So we could proactively build things to ensure that we don't make the same mistakes we've made in the past. This is all the result. And right now I'm speaking about business, but we're talking about lives and families and communities and states and nations and countries, relationships of all kinds, the way that businesses are built and run. It's a much, much different mindset. One that's far more valuable. I mean, right now, the way that the people are being used is with an empty vault. But when we enable ourselves to become most authentic, building from the proper foundations, and that vault becomes filled with golden eggs, well, we're working against ourselves now, aren't we? Through our spiritual wisdom, we begin to understand the error of our ways and begin to correct them. This is where the upgrade happens. If you learn, if you just sit and ponder it, you might, and it may take you, it may take you a little bit of time to really fully embrace the education of it, because some things are really painful. Everybody's got a different story. But I've had a lot of them. And most of mine have been painful. Really painful. And I'm telling you right now, natural healing is absolutely a thing. 100%. It absolutely is way easier than you thought it was. I drug myself through the muck, thinking a dark night of the soul was the expectation of healing. But it's not. It's really not. After it was over, I looked back and went, wow, I really didn't have to do all that. I thought I did, but I didn't. And if I can make it through that field of fear umpteen bajillion times, so can you. It's what becomes your gold. And I know way back in the day, I used to hear quite a bit that the pains that you have gone through end up being your successes of your future. It's true. But not because you're just going to look at it and say, oh, I'm sad about this, let me build a fundraiser. No. It adds some other level of love and understanding in your heart. It could be applied to just about anything. I know. I could touch just about anything. And so you will be able also. And then you just direct it to what brings you the most joy, and that's how it works. But on third eye chakra Saturday, that's what this is all about. And as you move forward, and this becomes when you have reached, your like 7th level of miracle, and you're like, the consistency of your vibration is high, and this process becomes more of a maintenance thing and thing you look forward to, rather than something new to you. You'll find that natural healing, what I might have taken a month to heal from before, I might take an hour to heal from now. The healing process shortens because your wisdom is immediate. And I could heal a couple times a day. Something happens there, I healed. Okay, next. I could heal, and I'm okay, next. Like that. But during the maintenance plan, excuse me, after the initial 7 weeks moving forward, then on every Saturday, we take just a moment to clear the week. Although we're doing it all the time, because it's the state of being we wish to be in, it's very helpful still to take a day. Like today, and the reason why I came on so late, it's super windy. There's no way I could do anything outside with you today. My everything would fall over. So, I wasn't going to be able to do that. But, I had a lot happen to me this week. Like really bad things happened to me this week. And I did that healing thing, but I feel it's still like floating around the back of my mind because it's still happening. Things are still happening in my daily. And so I like literally have to heal every day. But, I just wanted to take some extra time for myself. And my body has grown so accustomed to Saturday being my healing day that it just happens. And I take, if there's something that needs extra attention for the week, or even just little things, it might only take a minute. You might sit for an hour or two and, just mull over your week and be like, all right, okay, all right, I get it. All right, I got this. Next. That type of thing. I love this day for that. It's the most freeing, and it makes me feel just proud of myself, like it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I have my own little love bubble. And in my love bubble, I am exactly who I am. And I'm no longer afraid of being that person on the outside. And I just kind of stay in my own love bubble and connect with other people. And, our love bubbles touch or they don't. Just an exchange, a friendly exchange or something like that would be enough. A smile is enough. That's where our energies touch and recognize each other. That means, it doesn't mean we're touching. That means our energies, projection of our energies are commingling. It's a good day for that today. Let yourself be that. Don't forget that you're the best thing since sliced bread. And that your job is just to create joy. You'll make it through just fine. Let's go over a couple of things though. The crystal for today is the amethyst, my favorite. It's one of the most powerful stones, along with the amethyst, the clear quartz, and the obsidian are really the strongest of the stones. Anyway, again, today is all about natural healing. The color today is purple. The endocrine benefits is your pituitary gland, which is manages your growth and your metabolism. So, growth of all things, growth of height, growth of hair, growth of nails, and your metabolism, again, working along with the digestive system that's been corrected. And now we're all the way up to our pituitary gland. So, we've already tackled a good portion of the endocrine system. So, and then it's got a positive effect on our overall body chemistry as well. This is when everything starts gelling. I mean, everything's growing, your hair, your nails, your skin even, will improve. And what happens is, and now your energy's higher, so you have more activity, and your digestion is doing what it's doing, and we're helping it do what it's doing by what we're eating and the exercise that we're doing. And just our overall body chemistry is just working better. So everything about us is feeling better, operating better. You know what I mean? The archangels for today are Jeremiel and Raziel, just to help with the healing part. This is like the exchange of prayers and expectations. This is your direct communication with the Most High Creator, during your time of healing, especially when, if you're like revisiting something that was a little bit more than difficult, allow yourself to feel it, be the human being that you are, and take it back to Dad, because he knows exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. And he presented this education to you because he felt that you were advanced enough to receive it. So if you have any questions, if you feel poorly, if you're emotional, talk to Dad. And then, again, the archangels and the ancestors of the white light, and, all of this extra beautiful energy that we have surrounding us from our universe and everything right now, it'll be just like a hug that you put around your shoulders. And you could be all by yourself, because it's not about anyone other than you. And your commitment and your communication and your relationship with the Most High Creator. And consequently, mentioning it now, I did mention the masculine and the feminine role here. This is when we're also fully grasping how to properly process our emotions. Like I said before, you've got the feminine aspect, the emotional aspect that's been hurt. And you've got the masculine aspect of self who understands and is ready to defend and give back their nurture on an exchange, because they've learned how to work together. They know what each other needs, and sometimes the masculine reaches out to the feminine and lifts her right up. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I ran out of space. Let me continue. This is when the masculine turns to the feminine and lifts her up and say, it's okay. We could do this together. Let's look at it logically. What were we supposed to learn together? What didn't we like? What did we like? All right, now how can we take that and turn it into something beautiful? I need you to turn that into something beautiful, so we could pay tribute to your healing with a beautiful creation. That's what's happening in the third eye chakra between the masculine and the feminine. Is that not what all relationships you would hope to be? Where the masculine and feminine are so completely devoted to one another that they understand each other to such a high level that they know exactly what needs to happen and when. How to help one another, depend on one another, and love one another enough to fully perform their own function. The masculine needs the feminine, and the feminine needs the masculine. This is part of loving you. This is developing the relationship of you. Because you are equally imbalanced in having both your masculine and your feminine working together within you. And that too, my friends, brings you such a level of peace, a desire for unity, such a sense of love and acceptance. I know it sounds crazy, but you have these masculine and feminine within you, and when they are operational, as I speak of, if you're going to think of it as like third party, if you're going to have like this couple forming inside of you, imagine the love that's needed in order for all this to really sink in, for this really to happen, for you to literally fall in love with yourself. That's the real love. That's the love you experience that is of the Most High Creator. That becomes the very thing, that feeling of joy, peace, contentment, acceptance, support, love, direction, motivation, inspiration. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. And when you finally get to this place where you're recognizing this healing, you're recognizing these benefits, that's when your view really begins to, your perception of things really begins to change. Because you're no longer looking through the lens of lack. You're looking through the lens of plenty. You have everything you need right now. Everything else is a bonus. Anything else can be a bonus. As long as you keep it high vibrational. You keep your healing practice up. At least visit it once a week. Give yourself that time to level up from the week. Take a breath and go again. Because you're worth it. And my friends, that's what Third Eye Chakra Saturday is all about. I love you so much. I am going to do the food and fitness without actually doing it with you because of the wind. But don't miss that video. That's coming up next. Otherwise, bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow.